Okay, there we go. Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. I hope y'all are having a good evening. I know it's been rainy today where I am, so hopefully it's been a little cooler though, so that's good news, right? So I'm gonna wait a few seconds and see if folks join tonight. I hope so. And if not, I'm gonna go ahead and record anyway. I'll do it anyway, and everybody can watch it on the replay, right? So hopefully I get a couple of folks to join. Hey Denise, I'm glad to see you here. I don't know if there's anybody else. Um, I didn't look to see on my YouTube channel. I forgot to open YouTube, so let's see if anybody is on my YouTube channel real quick. And there we go. I don't see anybody though, so okay, it's okay. I don't want that to be playing. All right, so I got a couple of folks. Hey Joanne, how you doing, Jojo? How's everything going? Tell Amy hi. And just wait another minute or so. I know I didn't get to, it's been a week for me this week, so I didn't get to post, any reminders this week. So I may not have too many folks tonight, and that's okay. Like I said, hopefully folks will watch it on the replay. Um, so, and for those that do watch it on the replay, thank you for watching the replay, right? I know that everybody has a busy schedule. So I appreciate that anybody would choose to spend their free time with me. That's awesome. So thank you. Um, all right, so tonight I'm gonna challenge y'all a little bit with something, and then I have a little story. I always have a little story, and then I'll answer questions for anybody that has any questions. So we'll do that at the end. So I'm going to give folks another minute, if that's okay, with y'all. Are y'all all right with that? When you come in, tell me hi so that I can tell y'all hi. I like to see who's here and who's joining me tonight. And tell me what y'all have been up to. A challenge. Oh, geez, a challenge. It's not that big of a challenge. Hi, Donnell. How are you tonight? I hope everything's going well with you. Joanne, it's not going to be too much of a challenge, I promise. It's just something that I would like for you to think differently about. That's why it's a challenge. Okay. All right. Hey, Mallory. Is it just you or is it your whole family, Mallory? uh, tell everybody hello for me. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with a little attunement. Okay, so let's just sit comfortably and close your eyes and take in a deep breath. And as you exhale, feel all the tension in your forehead and your jaw relax. Take in another deep breath. And as you exhale, feel the tension in your neck and your shoulders relax. Deep breath. And as you exhale, feel your whole body relax. So, Think about something that you've been holding on to, something that may not be serving you well, but you hanging on to it anyway, or maybe something that's holding on to you that you've been trying to get rid of, and something or someone that's holding on to you, and how you would really like to let go of it and acknowledge it. Know that it served its purpose, and now it's time to let it go. And maybe you can't let the whole thing go right now. Maybe just a little bitty bit of it, just a tiny splinter, and that's okay. Just let it go a little bit. Take in a deep breath, and as you exhale, feel how good it feels to let go even a little tiny splinter of it. Take in another deep breath, and as you exhale, feel a little bit freer for having let go of it. One more time, deep breath in. And as you exhale, let out a sigh of relief. If you need to do that again, do it again. Breathe out that sigh of relief and relax. This is your time. And then when you're ready, you can open up your eyes and return your attention here. And I know that's just a quick little attunement. That's something that I do. I have a little group that I coach, and we do that every week in every meeting that I have with them. So, and they find that that helps them just to shake off the day, if nothing else. Okay, so in the comments, in the chat, answer the following questions. How many times in a day or in a week, or, think about how many times you ask the question, why? How often do you ask the question, why? I think about children when I think about this. Denise says daily. She asks why daily. Teresa says all the time. All the time. Norma says all the time. We're always asking why. At least once a day. Debbie says at least once a day. Joanne says a few times a day. Yep. We're always asking why. I think about little children, especially little kids. You tell them something, why, why? I feel like I'm like that some days, well, why? Why is that like that? Why am I doing that? Whatever. And think about when you ask that question, why? What circumstances, under what circumstances, or in what situations are you asking that question? Go ahead, answer away. Type it in the chat. Under what circumstances do you usually ask that question, why? Nobody, they're not coming in. I don't know, maybe I don't see them. No, here we go. Oh, Teresa says, why am I not rich? Okay. So confusion. Why don't I get it? Why does somebody else get it? When things don't go her way, Denise is saying, when things don't go her way or as she had planned that it would be. When something goes wrong, yeah, when it hurts, yeah. When it's hurt, when you're hurt by something or someone, you don't understand it, right? Yep. So typically when we ask why, it's when something negative happens, what we consider negative, or when we're confused, or, yeah, when we don't understand something, right? We're like, why? If something good happens, we don't go, why, man, I wonder why that happened. Like I wonder why I got $1 million, Teresa. Like I wonder why, something went great today. You don't question why when good things happen or things that we consider good happen, right? Um Mallory said it's because either something doesn't make sense or she's just being nosy. She's asking someone else why, right? But typically it's when we don't understand something. We're confused. We don't like what's going on. We want to know why. And I can tell y'all that is the number one reason why I'm in business. I don't mind telling you why people come to me. That is the number one question that I get from my clients. When they come to me and they want to talk to their loved ones, their deceased loved ones, or even angels or their guides, they want to know why. Why is something happening? Why did they behave in such a manner? Why did they have to go? Why um why couldn't I save you? Why didn't you think you could come to me and talk to me about something? It's always why. Everybody wants to know why. Why didn't I do something to help you? Why couldn't I help you? And so it's always something that they feel like they need an explanation for or they feel guilty about. Almost every client that comes to me, that's what they're looking for. They want answers. They want to understand. Something has happened to them that has hurt them, and they just want to feel loved again. They want to feel a part of something again, and they want that person to give that to them. And so throughout our lifetimes, right, things happen and we have no idea. We have no idea what's going on. Something may happen today, and you might not understand why it happened for decades. Maybe not even this lifetime. Maybe, we don't know how karma is calculated, right? So maybe things are happening now and we won't understand it for lifetimes, and maybe things that we understand today, we didn't understand lifetimes ago, right? So, you know, we don't always get to understand it. And sometimes we never understand it, you know? And so I'm going to challenge you by asking you to do your best in the next day or so not to ask why, to give up the need to know why. Because no matter what the answer is, it's never satisfying. Think about that. Think about that for a minute. When you want an explanation from someone for something you don't understand, some confusion, and you're like, why? Why did you do that? Why is this happening? And somebody says, well, I was just trying to protect you. Or just, it's because I love you and I want what's best for you. Or, then what happens? What happens after they give you the explanation? Then what happens? Then you have more questions. then you want more answers. Well, why did you feel the need to have to protect me? Why do you think I need protection? Why do you think, what made you feel like that? Because then you're starting to feel judged by someone else, or you are like, I don't understand this situation, even when it's with God, and you're like, God, why is this happening? God never answers why, by the way, if y'all haven't noticed. But even if he did, then you would be like, but God, why couldn't you have done it this way instead? Or why couldn't this have happened? Or why did it have to happen that way? It's never satisfying. You're never going to hear what you want to hear. It's never going to be enough. And what happens to you in the meantime? What happens to you in the meantime is you stay in that hurt. You stay in that pain. You stay in that suffering. So as long as you continue to ask why, you can't release it. You can't let it go. It keeps you there in that pain. And so what I'm going to challenge you to do is to be free of that. Because haven't you suffered already? Haven't you suffered enough already? Let go of that need to know why. Let go of that stuff in the past. It's most of the time stuff in the past that we can't do anything about, right? So when you stop hanging on to that stuff and clinging to those things, and you can focus on right now. And I tell people all the time, where your feet are right now in this very moment, how are you feeling? And you might feel like crap, and that's okay. You might not be feeling great, and that's okay, but you're feeling, you're here, you're dealing with it. And that's what's important, right? And there's a freedom that comes with giving up that need. And so what the challenge too is I'm going to ask you to accept and trust. Accept what is, and don't live in the past in the hope that it never happened, or in the hope that you'll maybe one day learn, why, and maybe you will. But right now, I accept that I don't know why right now. I don't know why. And that's okay. I accept that. And I am trusting that God knows what he's doing. That this is what I have to go through, or this is something that several of us have to go through. It's what's best for everybody, even if it doesn't feel like what's best. So accept and trust, two graces that we really need. And instead of asking why, ask, please show me how to accept this. Please show me the love and the peace and the healing in this situation. Please help me to trust that this is what's best. Because right now I'm not trusting it. You can be honest, and say, right now I'm not trusting this, right? But I feel like once you pray that way, instead of saying why, say, show me. Show me how to accept it. Show me how to trust. Show me how to heal in this. Because I'm struggling. I feel like that will release something. It feels like a release. A little splinter, like I said in the attunement. It will break off just a little splinter, and you'll feel a little bit better. And the more you ask to be shown, the more it will be shown to you. the more you will understand what you have to do right now. And something that I know is absolutely true because I've experienced it my own self is that we're never abandoned. You know, we can go and empty our hearts and our souls out to the universe, to our source, to that one who has shown you over and time again that they're taking care of us, that they've never abandoned us. And, you know, the truth is, love doesn't forget anybody. Love is always there for us, right? So, anyway, that's something that I would like to challenge you with. Try for the next day or so when you hear yourself saying, why? Stop a minute and go, okay, no, show me how to accept. Show me how to understand. Show me what I need to see in this so that I'm no longer confused, right? And so, you know, again, people come to me daily wanting to know why and wanting answers that we may never get. But I do have a story about somebody that did get an answer. So it's not a complete lost cause, right? So my dad, and y'all may have heard this story already, and if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. But my dad, as y'all know from our last Facebook Live, I am the youngest of 5 children. And my dad lived with me his last 5 years of his life, right? So um, one day, I don't know, we were talking, and my dad said, you know, he called me Boo because I was the caboose. And so he shortened it to just Boo. And he said, you know, Boo, when your mom came and told me that she was expecting another baby, he was like, it was a little bit of a shock, you know? And I was like, yeah. He was like, yeah. And he said, you know, and I had a big conversation with the good Lord. And he said, and I kept thinking, Lord, you know, what is going on here? You know, 5, I'm going to have 5. Like, why? Why 5, Lord? Like, why? What? How am I going to take care of 5 kids? How am I going to take care of this child? You know, why are you giving me this child? I don't understand why. And he looked at me and he said, but now I understand why number 5. Because if it wasn't for number 5, I don't know where I would be. I don't know who would be taking care of me. I don't know what would have happened. I didn't understand it. You know, it was, I don't know, 50 something years later, you know, I was in my 50s when my daddy came to live with me, you know, so it was like 50 something years later, I get why. But at the time, I was just like, oh no, you know, like, why is this happening to us? And I don't know how I'm going to provide. And I don't know, you know, all the questions that come up with that. And he's like, but now I understand why, you know, because I was the one that needed to take care of him in the end, right? And so, you know, we may not know, like, and that's why I said it may be decades, it may be never. You know, at least my dad found out. It kind of, you know, kind of came to full circle for him, which I'm glad, you know, and I'm happy I was 5, and I'm happy that I was able to take care of him and that I'm here, you know. But it doesn't always happen that way. But he was the one that told me. At the time, he didn't know why, but he had to accept and trust and have faith and confidence that God had a reason for this number 5 coming in and into his life, and he did. And then it was revealed to him 50 something years later, you know, in his mind anyway, why. So So you don't have to give up complete hope that you'll never know why something happens as it does, but you do have to accept right now that that's what is, and then trust and have faith, right? Okay, so like I said, I just want to challenge y'all. So the next time you're wondering why, to stop and just ask to be shown instead how to accept, how to trust, um, how to behave in the way that that you are to handle things at that time, right? In this moment. And if you're wondering about your own behavior, that's something else. Like, why did I just react that way? Like, I ask myself that. Like, what, man, where did that come from? Why did I behave in that way? Why did I say that to that person? Then get curious about that. And, think about that and say, okay, how do I, now that I've said this, like, show me how to be more loving in this situation. Show me how to help heal the situation, right? So if you're asking questions about yourself, you can still, if you're asking why about yourself, you can still um ask to be shown, right? Okay. Anyway, um so that's what I was going to talk about tonight. And I am yeah, the serenity prayer, Denise. Yeah, to accept what you can. Yeah. Um Yeah, Mel, it does. It does give a better understanding of what suffering is, period, right? So, anyway, if y'all have any questions about tonight's topic or y'all want to talk more about it or whatever, y'all can always email me, um, get in touch with me and ask me whatever questions that y'all want to ask. Or if you have suggestions for topics, next month, I'm hoping to do something on angels for y'all. So that's what the plan. That's what my plan is. Now, whether the bigger plan is something else, I don't know. But my plan is to talk about angels next month. Okay, who has questions? Does anybody have questions? I'm happy to answer questions. Sometimes it takes a minute for the questions to come through on the chat. No, no questions? All right. Then we waiting for the angels. Yep. I know that y'all like the angels. So I'm gonna do some little angels one-on-one. And Father Michel Rodrigue. I don't know who that is, Mal. I'm gonna have to go look him up. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. I'll go look him up and see if I have an opinion. But I don't know who that is. Somebody's asking me, what do I think of Father Michel Rodrigue or Michael Rodrigue, maybe? Um, and I don't know. Oh yeah, so I do have. I'll go look him up. Okay. Yay, Dana's here. Okay, so Denise wants to know a little bit more about the group that I coach. So a few years ago, I started something called Hope. And I some of y'all that are in here were in my hope group, my first hope group, right? Healing, optimism, peace, and enlightenment is what hope stands for. And I took some folks and we went through some we talked about healing and the things we need to do for healing, how to bring optimism in and peace, and then finally, how enlightenment is really an ongoing thing, right? And from that, people asked me to continue. So then I ended up having a Hope Grows group, and then they asked me to continue, and I ended up having a Hope Lives group. And now that some of those folks have been with me now for a couple of years, and we've been doing some. I just do coaching with them. And this past year, we did something called a Year of Connection, and I'm going to offer that, but I don't have an offer yet to give to y'all just yet. But I am going to offer this Year of Connection program to everybody, and they really, really liked it. And I can tell you briefly what it is. The first, it was a whole year. We've done a whole year of it. The first quarter was it's all about connection, right? So connecting with yourself, connecting with nature and the other living beings in general, nature, animals, that sort of thing, connecting with the angels, and then finally connecting with spirits, spirit guides, and ascended souls, ascended masters. And so that's what we did. And they loved it. And it was once a week. And like I said, I'll get more information out there pretty soon. I hope to offer it again very soon. And so if y'all are interested in that, if y'all would go to my website, which is gailhjohnson.com. This is my website. If y'all would go there and just in the comment, there's like a thing at the bottom that says sign up for information. If you're interested in that, go sign up and tell me that you're interested in Year of Connection. And I'll make sure that when I send out information about that, I'll make sure to send it to you. Okay. All right. And I wanted to mention that I have the website, like I said, that's kind of new. And I also have a YouTube channel. And I have not made any new YouTube videos yet, but I plan on starting to do that as well, which is I'm excited about that because I have like little series of things that I'm going to talk about on YouTube. Anyway, all of that's in the works. All right, so thank y'all all for being here. And our closing prayer tonight comes from Carolyn Mays, Intimate Conversations with the Divine. Um, and this is the prayer. Lord, grant me the grace to give up wanting to know why things happen as they do. This requires the grace of trust. I must trust in the whole story and not just the page I am reading or living that day. You hold the book of my life in your hands. I live it one day at a time. I must trust that you, as the author, know far more than I. Amen. All right. Thank y'all for joining me. I should be here again next month, and I'll post when I'm going to do that. And hopefully I'll have more time to be able to remind y'all to be here next month. All right, everybody, take care, and I'll see y'all later.